we're going to go over lesson 6 now with the slides. So your first thing you're going to do in lesson 6 is calibrate your screen, because obviously screens are at all different sizes, right? So if I zoom in here, I want to make sure that this is 4 centimeters, literally as you're doing it, because you're going to be measuring multiple things. So I don't want to like zoom in and change what 4 centimeters represents. Okay, so on the screen, you're going to drag this button up or down as you put a ruler right on here and just measure out 4 centimeters. And then you're ready for the next page. Here, you're going to scroll through. And I want you to go over, like, what do you wonder about all of these different things? Like, there's my caterpillar, that's 4 centimeters. What do you notice? What do you wonder about the puppy? Maybe you're comparing these different images. So in this screen here, you're given the actual object is 6 times larger. Now, when you look at the caterpillar is 4 centimeters. So that this represents 4 centimeters here. And the puppy, and you can measure this using a ruler, the puppy is a little bit larger than that. So if we were to make a line right there, the puppy is a little bit larger. So maybe 4.2. So if this puppy is really 4.2 centimeters in scale, and the object is 6 times as large, 4.2 times 6. So 25.2. And you're going to do the same thing for all the other ones. So poppy seed, this is 4 centimeters. This is at 3 centimeters. So it's bigger than 3, smaller than 4. Again, you can use a ruler. But I'd say it's about 3.1. So I do 3.1, and it says the actual object is 0.024 times as large. So I do that multiplication out. And you can use a calculator as well. And when I do it, I get about, I think I get 0.0792. And you can round that to 0.08 if you want. For this side, I'm trying to measure, I'm given the measurement for the Burj Khalifa, and that it's 82,800 centimeters tall. We're asked to figure out how tall that is in regular meters, not centimeters. So I want to pay attention to this scale that they give me here, so that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. One thing you can do is make a table. So we're given centimeters, and we're trying to go to meters. We know that there are 100 centimeters and 1 meter. And for our building, there are 82,800 centimeters. So what you can do is ask yourself how they went from 100 to 1. What did they multiply by? And you can do that on the side. So 100 times the black gives you 1. And remember, we work backwards to figure out what that scale factor is. So 1 divided by 100, which is either 1 over 100, or you can say it's 0.01. So to go from centimeters to meters, you're multiplying by 0.01. So if you want to figure out how many meters 82,800 centimeters is, you're multiplying by 0.01, and 82,800 times 0.01 is going to be 828. It's 828 meters. It says, so far, the drawings in this lesson use scale factor. Here's a new drawing that uses just scale. Okay, so when you look at a map, you're often going to see a scale so that you can calculate what the distance is in real life rather than just on the diagram. So here, we're given kind of like a map, right? We're given that there's a scale factor of 200 meters, or a scale of 200 meters. And so we're asked, since the scale is 1 unit to 200 meters, so that's 1 box to 200 meters. How can you tell from this new drawing that the Burj Khalifa is 828 meters tall? Well, if each one of these boxes represents 200 meters, one thing we can do is count that up. So there's 200, another 200, another 200, another 200, kind of like we did with the puppy and the caterpillar. So right there, that's 800. And then it's a little bit more than 800. So that's one way that you can tell. Another way you could do it is to actually measure it out with a ruler. So put your ruler here. This is 4 centimeters, or 4 units. Figure out how much of a unit this is as a fraction, and multiply that by 200. So on this screen, you're going to use the scale that they're giving you, just like you used the scale for this building, and estimate the actual height based on that scale. So this one we said was 828. So now you're going to go back and do some of the other ones. So just notice and pay attention to this scale changes as you go through the different figures. And what I got for answers was those right there. So for this one, you're asked to select a scale and list objects that could be drawn on this grid. So if I have a scale of 1 unit is 1 centimeter, let's change that to 1 meter. So if I think of this being 1 meter, which is almost 3 feet. Here's a meter, here's a meter, here's a meter. So that's 3 meters. You could probably draw a person. It wouldn't make sense to have their feet all the way down there. So you can really decide what you're going to draw. I'm not a very good drawer. That is roughly my stick figure. So the big idea in this lesson is about the difference between scale factor and scale. So how are they similar? Well, both of them are used to describe objects that are different sizes. And if we look at both of these screens here, they both involve a grid. They both include numbers that we talk about how big the drawing is. But a couple of things that are different is scale uses unit measurements, centimeters, meters, etc. Another way they're different is that the scale factor describes how many times larger one object is, and just a scale describes how much a specific distance represents. Like this unit represents 200 meters. Another way they're different is that the scale factor compares the size of one object to another object. The scale compares the size of one distance to another distance. So when you have a scale, it's a little bit harder to talk about something like area. Whereas a scale factor, you can talk about area. Right here, they're giving you a scale drawing of National Stadium. It's also known as the Bird's Nest. It's located in Beijing, China. And you are estimating the actual width and height of National Stadium. And we can enter that below. So we are given a scale, right, not a scale factor, of 30. So we know that this is 30, this is 30, and this I would say is about a third of the way to 30. Right, so we'll say this is probably more like 10. So this, we can say the whole thing would be 70. And then here we have 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, and 30. So how many times do we have 30 there? 11 times. 30 times 11, which is 330. So if I estimated, my width would be 330, and my height would be about 70. And I don't know about you, but I feel like I understood, and I feel great about it.